Good day. So today we are going to be talking about vectors. Vectors. Yes, vectors quickly. So what is a vector? So a vector is a physical quantity. So we say a vector here is a physical quantity. I have to know that that's very important. A vector is a physical quantity, okay, that has both magnitude. So you have to know that it has magnitude. It has magnitude and it has direction. That's the first thing you need to know about vectors. Okay, vectors has magnitude and it has direction. So now when we're talking about the opposite of vector, we'll be talking about scalar. So what is scalar? Scalar has just magnitude but no direction, right? No direction. Do you understand now? So the first thing you want to know about vectors and scalar is that vectors has magnitude and has direction, while scalars has only magnitude but no direction. Okay, so we are going to be talking about some concepts that you need to know under this topic. Okay, so let's talk about the vector representation. How do you represent a vector? You represent a vector with a bold letter like this, or you represent a vector like this. So you can either represent like this or like this, okay? But definitely in exam you don't have time to be shading like this. So what you do is you go for this one. So when you want to write a vectors, you write it this way. You write a vector A like this, okay? So I think that is on representation of vectors. So another thing you should know, and which is in your note, is you can check those ones later in your notes. Okay, so let's go to unit vectors quickly. So when we talk about unit vectors, okay. Now unit vector is actually given as u cap is equal to u, that is the vector of u over the magnitude of what? Of u. But first, I would like to explain what a magnitude of u is. When we say magnitude of u, we are saying that u is equal to the square root of x squared plus y squared. That's the magnitude of u. Let's take, for example, let's say you have vector u to be let's say 2i plus 3j, right, plus 4k, and you're asked to find the magnitude. So what I'm going to do is just to do u magnitude like this equals to the square root of 2 squared plus 3 squared plus 4 squared. You see that? And that will be square root of 4 plus 9 plus 16, and this is 29, right? So that will be the magnitude. So that's how to find magnitude. But in the case you're asked to find the unit vector now. So let's assume I want to find the unit vector of this same example, right? Suppose you're asked to find the unit vector of this. So my unit vector now here will be, let me use another color. My unit vector u cap, okay, will be given as this. My vector, which is u, which is 2i plus 3j plus 4k over what? Root of what? 29. So this is my unit vector. It's very simple. You rewrite the vector back over the magnitude of the vector. Is that clear? So that is unit vectors. So let's talk about operations on vectors quickly. Operations on vectors. So when we talk about operation on vector, we're talking about the addition and subtraction. So let's have a vector A Okay, let's have a vector A giving us 2i plus 4j minus 3k. Okay, and we have another vector B giving us let's say 6i minus 2j minus 5k, and you're asked to find um, a plus b. Okay, and you're asked to also find b minus a. So just like your basics. Okay, so what you do here is you do a, which is your what? So let's say a plus b now. Let's say a plus b. Okay, so you are going to have, you're going to plus the one that I together, I plus I, then j plus j, then k plus what? K. You don't mix it up. Okay, so you're going to be having 2 plus 6, because that is one that have I. You put the I outside, plus into bracket. What do you have next now? 4 minus 2, right? Because that's minus 2 there. Then plus, what do you have now? Minus 3 minus 5 to the what? To the k. Then you finalize your answer as what? 8i plus 2j, okay, minus 8k. You see, that's very simple, right? Then you can do this one yourself as classwork. So quickly, let's move to the next thing. Now, when we talk about the properties of vectors, you can check that in your notes. Now, let me just do some explanation on that quickly. Properties of vectors. Properties of vectors. Now, we have a vector. Now, majorly, there is an origin that the vector is coming from. You know, you said that's a direction. Let's assume it's going this way. This direction here, it's going this way, and this one from the origin is going this way. Okay, so we have a line like this. So let's say it's going to this part B. So this is my B, my vector B. This is my A, this vector A. Okay, so if that be the case, then we're going to be having A plus B here. Okay, because that will be the major reason what we want to do. That's one of the properties. All right, so let's see something kind of different. So we've talked about plus, right? And you can also be giving something simple like let me do an example. Suppose you are giving a matrix, not matrix, I mean a vectors P is equals to 2a plus 3b vector. I asked to find suppose you asked to find 3p. What you have to do, you just do what? 3 into bracket 2a vector plus 3b vector, right? That will be what? 6a plus what? 9b. I think that should be simple enough. So I've talked about unit vector, right? So let me talk about some operations of several vectors. Yes, additions of several vectors. Let's say we want to add several vectors together. So do well in the physical class that we might have again. I'll expatiate on that. Let's say we have PQ, comma 2 RS, okay. SP, these are vectors, okay, don't forget. And we have minus RQ. So we have to add everything. We have to find the sum of all these things. So we say PQ plus 2RS plus SP minus RQ. Okay. Now to do this one is very simple. When you are doing this stuff, just check it in an alphabetical order, right? So I will check the one that has alphabetical order with it. Then, for example, now if I should check like I explained, if I should pick this one and this one, and I put them together, and I have something like this: SP plus PQ. You see that I'm arranging it in such a way that same letters are facing themselves in such a way that S and P are facing themselves. That's just basically what I'm trying to say. Okay, so if I have this now, would have RS, right, plus, sorry, minus that what's RQ. So this one, because I'm having Q and P facing themselves here, then I can write it as what? This can become SQ, then plus 2RS minus RQ. Now I want you to know something, that if you have AB, if you want to change the arrangement, it becomes minus BA. Okay, so if you are rearranging it, then the sign will change. It will affect the sign. So like this guy now, like this guy, if I want to rearrange it, it will affect the sign and becomes positive. So from here I will have XQ, right, SQ plus 2RS plus what? QR. Can you see what I'm doing now? I actually rearranged it. So I'll bring this one and this together so that we can have Q. So I have SQ plus QR plus 2RS. So I'm having Q facing themselves, so I'll just pick the other ones at the end. That'll be XR plus 2RS. Okay, so in that case, I'll just split this one so I can have something really easy to work with. So I'll have I should have SR plus RS plus RS. Okay, so I can say that SR plus, this can become minus SR because I'm changing the position, then plus RS. So basically this will cancel this one. Then I'll be left with what? I'll be left with RS. So my final answer for this guy, the summation will be what? RS. Okay, so just as simple as that. So that's addition of several vectors. Just look for the ones that has that are facing themselves basically. Then you add your stuffs together. Once you can achieve that, then you can be good to go in your operations. Okay, so let's see. Okay, the other ones here, which are collinear and parallel vectors, I would like to explain that to you physically because that will need more explanation. So until then, just watch this video and let me know the feedback.